This morning, Ofgem announced a £150 reduction in our price cap from the 1st of October, which is great news. But they've also made a couple of announcements which aren't so great. Good morning, everyone. I'm Richard Winstone with Over 50s Money. Before we get started, please do subscribe to the Over 50s Money YouTube channel and turn on the notifications to keep up to date with all of our latest videos. Thank you. Okay, so this morning, Ofgem announced a £150 reduction in our energy bills from the 1st of October 2023, which is fantastic news. It's great news. I'm glad to hear it. They have made other announcements which are less fantastic, and that's the primary point of this video. So the two other announcements they made is that they are increasing energy supplier profits from the 1st of October. Most of you that follow me would also have signed the petition. You know me through that petition where we've been trying to get them to reduce profits in the energy industry and change the formula to stop energy suppliers from profiteering in a crisis. Unfortunately, their decision is to allow higher profits in non-crisis times and to not reduce profit at all during a crisis either. The only way this new methodology benefits us is if the price cap goes above £4,000 again, which with all of the changes Ofgem have done over the last 2 years, that will just never happen. So I don't see this ever benefiting us. And if it does ever happen, goes above £4,000 again, we'll be benefited to the tune of pennies per year. So this is a terrible decision by Ofgem. This morning I went through the decision document they posted. Just briefly, it's 84 pages. I haven't been able to go through it all in detail yet. But I do want to say thank you to, according to their document, the 1,200 people that replied to this consultation in support of the Over 50s Money petition. They have done a whole section, it's a whole appendix at the bottom, 3 or 4 pages, where they summarise not only what we said as like a group, but they also go through some of the individual responses and say how many people said something along similar lines. So those of you that also sent in your own separate comments, they've acknowledged them and they've given responses. As I said, that's down at the bottom. It's on page 79, I think it starts, of the consultation decision. I'll post a link to that in the description below. But yeah, thank you to everyone that did respond, but unfortunately they've not taken any notice of what we've actually said, and it's not changed their decision at all, basically. Yeah, it's quite frustrating. I did a bit of work this week to find out just how much damage Ofgem have done to our price cap over the last 2 years since the beginning of the crisis. Go to the description below, there's a link to the article with a full table of every price increase I could find. That's not including increases through the price cap methodology that's been existing since 2019. These are new decisions Ofgem have made since the beginning of the crisis. There are over 20 decisions they've made, which has added over £300 to our energy bills. So when Ofgem tell us that we're not going to go back to pre-crisis price cap levels, it's not because wholesale energy, well, it's partially because wholesale energy is staying quite high, but it's also partially because Ofgem have added £300, £400 to our bills. And a lot of those are permanent changes. So yeah, click the article below and check the table. I've got nothing. I don't know what to do now. The consultation is now closed. And just to add salt to the wound, Ofgem has decided in that same consultation that they are not going to review the profit element periodically again. They're only going to review it again in extreme circumstances. So we have no recourse for going to Ofgem and telling them to change that. I can't believe they went the wrong way with it. They've increased profits. If you go back and look at the original consultation in August 2022, Dan Norton, the Deputy Director at Ofgem that I met earlier this week, he says that they're doing the consultation because they're worried that energy suppliers will get unduly high profits in a high-cost market. It literally implies that they think the profit formula is broken and it's going to give profit levels that are too high to energy suppliers, and their final decision a whole year later is that actually they're going to give even more profit to energy suppliers. And for those of you that are interested in the numbers, the profit per customer before the crisis was £22 per household per year in the price cap. And that was at a 1.9% profit margin. Ofgem's new formula gives £19.50 fixed rate and then a 1.4% on top of that. So in the next price cap, it's going to be what, £10 higher than what the old formula would have made it. And if we ever get back to like £1,000 price cap, there'll be £15-16 per household better off. And remember, every pound is £30 million in the industry, 30 million households paying it. So £15-16 better off is almost £500 million more profit every year for the energy supply industry. Yeah, it's ludicrous. I can't understand it either. But every time you hear someone say £1, think £30 million. Every time I say £10, think 300 million. If we get into £100, it's 3 billion. So, and that's per year. So yeah, it's a bit of a ludicrous change. I will come up with a plan over the weekend of our next steps. I'm going to write a complaint email to Ofgem today. I'll put an email address in the description below as well. So you guys, if you want to write a complaint about profits increasing, feel free to. I think it'll be better if they have various complaints that aren't copied and pasted, so they actually read them all. So yeah, please feel free to do that, and feel free to copy in Over 50's Money using the email address support@over50smoney.com. The other announcement is more for prepayment meter customers. It's for everybody really, so it won't impact prepayment meter customers directly until April next year, and even then it gets spread across everybody. So we responded to their consultation on adding in a bad debt related allowance for additional support credit for prepayment meters. So effectively, they were saying that energy suppliers are getting too much bad debt from giving additional support credit to prepayment meters that couldn't pay it back, and they wanted to increase or add an allowance into the price cap for that, so that cost is spread across all customers, so those that are paying will just pay a little bit extra, and that covers the cost for the energy suppliers. We obviously went back and said, no, don't do that. There's enough room in the headroom allowance, and you already have bad debt related costs in the price cap to cover these sort of things. They've partially listened. So the initial proposal was a £13 per prepayment meter customer allowance per year. They've reduced that to £9, but they are adding that on from the 1st of October. For you prepayment customers, please be aware that that will just be covered by the energy price guarantee until the end of March. So the government will be covering that. It won't come directly out of your bills, but that does mean it does come out of taxpayers' money, so it'll all really be covering that. And then from the 1st of April, Ofgem are expected to levelise payment methods. So that means there won't be a premium on prepayment meter customers anymore. Any additional costs that prepayment meter customers give to energy suppliers will just be spread out across everybody. So that means those people on direct debits, on standard credit meters, will be paying a bit more. And from this, the implementation of this new allowance, that'll equate to about £3 per year on your bills before tax and all of that is added on. So it's still going to be £3.50. It's not going to be a lot, but it is another increase on our energy bills from next year. So yeah, Ofgem have also announced a couple of new consultations that they're starting today. They're launching. I haven't had opportunity to look at those yet, but I just thought I'd update you on this disappointing news that they went the wrong way with the profits and they're adding more costs. As I said, I'll be back next week, probably after. I might post on Tuesday, but it's most likely going to be after the meeting on Wednesday that I have with Ofgem. I'm going to try and formulate a plan for our next steps. I'm not giving up on this. The petition still stands that we all want profit levels to come down and for us to get a little bit of respite in this energy crisis, and Ofgem don't seem to be seeing that, so we'll have to come up with something else. But I just need time to figure that out. Please do copy us into any emails you send to Ofgem. I'll be honest with you, they'll fall on deaf ears. You're going to get a standard copy and paste response back. That seems to be Ofgem's MO at the moment. And they're not just going to randomly open a consultation because a few thousand people have sent in complaints. I don't know why, but they won't. So, yeah, apologies for that wake-up message this morning. But let's take the silver lining from this. Wholesale prices have come down, which means our prices are coming down. The price cap is coming down from the 1st of October by £150, which is great news. We expect it to bounce back up a little bit in January, but for the first 3 months of winter, at least our prices have come down a little bit, and they're only 85% higher than they were 2 years ago, rather than 2-3 times higher like they have been over the last year. So we're moving in the right direction, and that's positive. Let's take that silver lining and be happy. Please do share this video around. Please subscribe to the Over 50s Money YouTube channel. And if you have any feedback for us, please leave it in the comments below, or you can email me, richard@over50smoney.com. Thanks.